Get ready. Get set. It's time for the basement view. Hey, how's it going? Boy, I gotta tell you, some stuff can go wrong. I ain't lying. Man, it's Friday. I'm glad to be here. Glad that you're here. Man, I tell you, whoo, it's Friday, man. And it's cold as hell out there. I'm fucking shit up here. Oh, that's funny. That is funny. Tell you what, when you do this, you're gonna get your ass kicked. Oh, this is funny. This is funny. I have actually jacked some stuff up. Anyway, as you can see, I've been playing with the lights again. So I think that I got the light halfway close to where I need it to be. Hey, James. Hey, man, how's the light look? Is it bright enough? I've been messing with that and some camera settings and positioning in the basement here. I think you all know what I've been doing. As a matter of fact, hit that thumbs up for me. Subscribe if you haven't. Helps the algorithm put me out there. Thank you, sir. So, I gotta tell you, oh my goodness. Boy, if you all could be here and see what happens to me. Hey, what's up, Ronnie? If y'all could see what happens to me prior to going live, y'all would just be tickled to death. I'm not lying. Because sometimes I just gotta laugh. That's funny. Also, I've been working on that sound issue. So we gonna find out today if I halfway got that worked out. We gonna find out and see what's going on with that. So we gonna check it out. Tonight, I want to revisit Mr. Robert Brooks. That's been on my soul, the way they did that man. And I've been looking today to find out if anybody was going to get arrested. And there's been no one arrested that I know of. And they're talking about investigations and possible charges, and a particular DA is going to take up the case. Now, I did understand why there was one possible conflict of interest, and that is because the Attorney General's office has a division within that office that handles defending people that work in the corrections office when they're sued. So the Attorney General's office, that would kind of be a conflict of interest for them to file charges. So the charges are going to have to be filed elsewhere through another department. I get that. But we saw a person killed, beat close to death. He died the next day, but beat close to death on video. Now, the least that happened to him was one heck of an assault. I thought you were supposed to arrest people when it is obvious that they have committed a crime, but at least to hold them until you prefer charges. Why are these people still walking around? Can somebody tell me why these people are still walking around? Nobody's been arrested. Now, they're saying they want to fire 14 people. 14 people should have been arrested, if you ask me. Somebody make that make sense to me. Hey, they arrested Diddy. Diddy only was all he was doing was having a little fun. You know, they would arrest me or you. Explain that to me. There should be 14 people trying to get bail in some form or fashion. I don't get it. Right now, I'm going to play a clip. And, hey, we're going to find out if I got the audio worked out, too. So we're going to play this clip. And it is the some of the autopsy report, partial, of some of the things that happened to this man. Let's check it out.
Kingsley may harm himself or another. He was allegedly part of a group of a total of 14 individuals engaged in an assault on Robert Brooks on December 9th at the infirmary at Marcy Correctional. Brooks died at a Utica hospital the next day. In the protection application, it is noted the autopsy of Brooks was conducted at the Onondaga Medical Examiner's office on December 11th. It was determined Brooks suffered multiple bruises on his face and arms and legs, a fractured nasal bone, multiple soft tissue bleeding in his neck on both the left and right sides, as well as bleeding in the genitalia area. Now, the medical examiner also reported concerns for asphyxia, this due to compression of the neck, as well as Brooks's death due to actions of another. It also makes note the final cause and manner of death are still pending at this time. Now, once again, this information was part of an application for extreme risk protection for one of the corrections officers, David Kingsley, named to be involved in the assault. Meantime, family of Robert Brooks held a vigil last night in Rochester with his surviving son, Robert Brooks Jr., saying the family is hopeful his death was not in vain and will be a, quote, catalyst for change, end quote. For now, reporting in the studio, Isabel Garcia, News 8.
Emotions over the death of a local man after a beating by...
Well, that's interesting. That man did some suffering. That man did some suffering. That's crazy. Man. And nobody's been arrested. Nobody's been arrested. Hey, Charles, what's happening? Oh, by the way, quick question. Did the audio come through decent on the clip? Anybody that saw it? Yeah, nobody's been arrested. That's crazy. And that's sad that in this day and time, they will still do that. They will blatantly let people walk free. You know, they did that when they chased that boy down in Tennessee, I think. When they, the two gentlemen that chased that guy through the neighborhood, and they didn't arrest them. Hey, Carmen. Oh, okay, cool. The sound is good. Excellent. Excellent. So, and apparently there was a pattern of bad shit going on at the correctional facility. That does not surprise me either. That does not surprise me a bit, because remember we talked about what was going on down in the Georgia prison system? You know, prison is a pretty bad place. We know that. We know prison is just that, prison. But apparently, these particular prisons, the guards or correctional officers have taken it upon themselves to visit upon the inmates some of the worst treatment you could have ever imagined. Now, we know prison is supposed to be punishment. We know that. But, take you to a medical facility and beat you to death? That's kind of bad. That's kind of bad. So, I don't get it. I just don't get it. And again, like I said the other day, these are the people that Donald Trump would want to give immunity. These are the people that Donald Trump would want to give immunity. Let's take an example of some of the treatment. I think I got a clip here that speaks to the pattern of abuse.
Beat or sprayed.
I think certainly officials have been aware of allegations for quite some time.
The report calls for the Attorney General's office and the Inspector General to investigate claims of abuse. It's unclear if anyone looked at the prison before Brooks died. Claims of beating, similar to what Brooks suffered, are documented in 2 lawsuits from 2022. Lawsuits which name 3 of the same people in this room. This week, Governor Kathy Hochul announced sweeping changes at the facility, installing a new superintendent and expediting a program to install more security and body cameras.
I was really shocked that the governor did respond so fast.
Thomas Gant, an advocate with Center for Community Alternatives, says the governor's actions are encouraging, describing a perpetual pattern of corrections officers getting away with violence.
It's a good step. The governor did not go far enough.
The state attorney general's office is working on criminal charges for the 14 people involved in Brooks's death. In Syracuse, I'm Connor White.
So apparently they're just beating on people randomly in the bathrooms and all sorts of stuff. They've just decided they're going to rain terror on the inmates. That's awful. That's absolutely awful. Hopefully, something will be done. Again, these are not nice people. These are people in prison. But I don't think, prison should be a torture chamber, That's just my thoughts. Anyway, on a lighter note, how's everybody doing? I feel pretty good. I can't stand the fact that there's going to be one heck of a cold snap coming. But it is winter. And funny thing, check this out. Guess who got himself a TV show? Guess who got himself a TV show? Check this out right here.
Welcome back. It is the calm before the storm in Washington, D.C. today, with the White House preparing for a transition to Trump and the House of Representatives about to elect a House Speaker.
Look who got a TV show on OAN. One America News. They literally gave this guy a TV show. another, well, let's say, yeah, he's a child rapist, okay? Drug sniffing, across the border, sex trafficking, ex-representative that they applauded was gone today on the House floor. They literally applauded the fact that he was not there today on the House floor. And what happens? They give him a television show. Only in America. And we got a guy who, in a week or so, is going to be sentenced for crimes, for state crimes, before he is sworn in as the president of this country. You can't make this shit up. You can't make it up. I mean, who would even imagine? Who would imagine? We done had 2 terrorist attacks on the first day of the year. Man, can't imagine, what's next. Just can't imagine it. Got MAGA, they fighting with each other. Makes life easier for ex-cons. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I tell you what, it's good to be a con these days. Shit. It's those of us who abide by the law that's in trouble, apparently, because the cons are running the country. All the convicts are running the country. We in trouble. If I wasn't such a coward, I'd probably go out and commit a few crimes. But I got the wrong complexion for that. They wouldn't take too kindly to me doing it. Maybe if I get a MAGA hat, put it on, they might go light on me. What y'all think? By the way, if you can, hit that thumbs up on there if it's available for you. Again, it helps the algorithm put me out there. I got to tell you, I'm just about speechless as to all of this stuff that's going on in this country today. We got a big MAGA war going on. Let's see if we got a clip of that, the MAGA war.
To understand, it was about get out the vote canvassing and low propensity, low information voters. Elon said last night, and Raheem will jump in here in a moment with Poso and go through some other even nastier tweets he put up last night about MAGA being racist, which is the last refuge of a scoundrel in modern politics, to quote Andrew Breitbart via Johnson, right? This last night, if we can put it up on the screen, I'd appreciate it. This is Elon Musk. The reason I'm in America, along with so many critical people who built SpaceX, Tesla, and hundreds of other companies that made America strong, is because of H-1B. Take a big step back and F yourself, all caps, in the face. F yourself in the face. I will go to war on this issue, the likes of which you cannot possibly comprehend. Oh, yeah, tough guy? You're going to go to war on the likes of which you cannot possibly comprehend. You're a man-child, to be blunt. I hate to make it personal, but what you have done is try to trash individuals punching down. Remember, the first rule of gladiator school, bro, don't punch down. Either punch up here or punch up.
You know, now you got Elon Musk in a fight with Steve Bannon. Now, they spent all that time telling their MAGA people don't get college educated. They love the, what they call them? What did they call them? The low education voters. They call them low education voters. And the minute they get elected, they turn around and tell them, hey, we're going to throw all the poor and uneducated immigrants out. You can do those jobs, and we're going to bring in some highly educated foreign people for the jobs we promised you. You know, we know we said we was going to give you some good jobs. Well, they're going to be good out there in the fields picking shit. So now they pissed. So old Steve Bannon, he ready to bomb the whole fucking thing. He ready to throw a Molotov cocktail. So the billionaires is going at it with the poor MAGAs. And it's just the first week of the year. Boy. Anyway, like I was saying, got some more changes coming. Matter of fact, I think I made it through with the audio this time. That is pleasing. Hey, stick with me. Stick with me. We gonna stay tuned. This shit's gonna be funny because they crazy as hell. You got 4 to go. 4. You know what? They talking about maybe not just 4. You know, these people are talking about fucking with the Constitution. That's the scary shit. We're about to have attorney generals from all of the Democratic states going to battle with the White House over the Constitution. Did you hear me? The attorney generals of the Democratic states are getting together and forming a strategy to do battle with the White House over the Constitution. Who in the hell would have thought that would be going on? So, as far as 4 years to go, let's find out. Shit, we might be in for a rude awakening, you know? Not to mention, you know, and I hate to mention this because a lot of people don't seem to think it could ever happen. But there is a wing of that group that is hell-bent on starting a civil war. There's a wing of that group that simply wants to start a civil war. And remember the last civil war, it was brother against brother. And it's just the first week of this year. Hey, I tell you what. Imagine how much laughter is going on in other countries right now. Imagine how much laughter. First 3 days. Yeah. Well, yeah, it hasn't been a week, has it? Man. Imagine a terrorist out there in the world somewhere wondering if it would be easy to bomb something in America. I think they just got their answer. I got to tell you. Hey, you know, you laughing at the foolishness. I am laughing at the foolishness. I mean, and you want to know what's really funny? Is them fools don't see it. Them fools don't see how stupid they look. They want to get mad when you say, hey, you're stupid. They don't see how stupid they look. That's the crazy part. Man, and these people are not serious. These people do not know how to govern. They only know how to create chaos. They haven't spent any time learning to govern. They all are just a bunch of egomaniacal clowns that have no experience actually governing. And this is what we're stuck with. This is what we're stuck with. Saddle up. Giddy up. So, anywho, for those that is interested, well, hey, Charles, you said it will never happen. You know what? I hope you're right. I sincerely hope you're right. You know, I got a lot of friends that don't think it will. I sincerely hope it doesn't, because that's a whole different kind of mess. We already in one mess. That's a whole different one. So I happen to hope you're right. So let's try and hold it together. You know? But there are those fools out there. Keep your head on the swivel. All right. Anyway, what I'm going to do right now at this point is go over to say the floodgates are open for terrorism. I sincerely hope not. You know, I hope not. I hope Wednesday that the terrorists were maybe in prayer or something, facing the east and not the west, and didn't actually see anything. You know, hopefully. You know, because, you know, hey man, I don't want to get blown up going into a grocery store or going to a game or something. You know, why somebody would do shit like that, man. So I hope all of them that would be doing that, you know, wasn't paying attention or got something else to do. Shit. I tell you what, they probably laughing so damn hard that they can't. They probably blowing themselves up in their own labs because they laughing, being careless and shit. Shoot, that's probably what's going on. Anyway, I'm gonna go to Robin Hood right now. I'm gonna click over here to Robin Hood and see if I can pull it up on the screen. Wonder why did my screen go dark like that? Investing. Let's go back here. Well, I guess it's probably that time of day or something. Let's see. Let's go back where we were the other day. Here. And see if I can pull this up right here. Okay. This is where we were. Let me start off by saying this is a company that is a real estate investment trust. Right here, let's see if I can pull this up right here. Right here is where it says that it is a company that engages in the operation of a real estate investment trust. It invests in residential mortgage pass-through securities and collateralized mortgage obligations. Now, that's simply stating that it is involved in mortgages. They buy mortgages and they bundle them up and they get the income from the mortgages, and that income they use to pay out to investors. That is what a real estate investment trust does. So, understand, as I search for stocks on this platform, I am going to be searching for stocks in 3 categories in the beginning. That is real estate investment trust, ETFs, which are exchange traded funds, and closed-end funds. An ETF, which is an exchange traded fund, and a closed-end fund, if you remember, I explained they are almost exactly alike. The only difference is a closed-end fund cannot issue new shares. They can't create new shares and issue them. When they create the fund, whatever number of shares they have, that's the only shares they will ever have. An exchange traded fund, they can from time to time create more shares, and that can dilute the stock price of each share. So, for all intents and purposes, when I say an ETF, I also mean a closed-end fund, because they do the same thing. Okay, so the first one that we're going to dive into is real estate investment trust. This one was founded in 2008, and it goes on to talk about the employees, the market cap. The market cap, which is shortened for market capitalization, is the size of the company. You have small cap, medium cap, and large cap. Medium cap companies fall into that $8 billion range. The capitalization of a company is the amount of stock out there that, the value of the stock that's out there. That's the capitalization. So this is a mid to high cap company. They sometimes kind of straddle the line from low to mid cap and mid to high cap. So, okay. When you're looking at a stock, as I stated before, you're looking at the range. One of the key factors is the range that it traded for the last year. This stock had a $2 range over the last year. That tells you that stock is not volatile. It doesn't freak out, go high, go low, go high, go low. That's what that tells you. When we look for stocks, we don't want volatile stocks. We want stocks that trade really smooth over time. Hopefully, they go up over time. Sometimes they stay in a straight line. Those stocks are usually stocks that pay you to keep them. And that's what we're interested in. A real estate investment trust is set up for tax purposes as a company to pay 90 to 95% of the income out to the stockholders. The company doesn't keep the income. The income simply passes through the company and out to the stockholders. That's the reason they create a real estate investment trust. Now, there are all sorts of companies that are set up as real estate investment trusts. There are healthcare companies set up as real estate investment trusts. There are oil real estate investment trusts. There are apartment building real estate investment trusts, hospital real estate investment trusts, all sorts of real estate investment trusts. The you store it places, some of those are real estate investment trusts. And let's go back to oil. The oil is a little different thing. I don't know if I've seen one as a REIT, but maybe I think those are something else. We'll get into that later. But there are a lot of different kinds of companies set up as real estate investment trusts. And remember, a real estate investment trust is set up so that it pays 90 to 95% of all the income